My dear friends, tonight I want to share with you something sacred, something so subtle, so profoundly silent, that it has the power to transform your life completely overnight. I do not exaggerate, for I speak not of mere imagination, but of the divine secret which has always been within you, waiting to be awakened. It is the silent technique that opens the gates to your every desire. Let us begin with a truth that most ignore. Consciousness is the only reality. What you see, what you touch, what you call facts. These are but shadows cast by your inner state. Everything in your external world is a reflection, an echo of what you silently assume to be true. The cause of all that you experience lies not in the world of man, but in the silent theater of your imagination. Now, what is this silent technique I speak of? It is the practice of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled in absolute stillness, without words, without effort, and without resistance. It is the art of entering the state of your fulfilled desire before you sleep, in such a way that your body drifts into slumber, while your mind remains loyal to the scene you have impressed upon it. You see, every man is the sum total of his assumptions, and assumptions once persisted in will harden into fact. But the world will not tell you this. The world will tell you to hustle, to fight, to strive. But I am telling you that the silent assumption, if sustained faithfully, will outmatch all action, all strategy, all human effort. When I say silent, I mean truly still. No begging, no pleading, no frantic visualizations. Just the quiet, unshakable knowing that what you want is already yours. Tonight, before you fall asleep, I want you to try it. Go within. Shut out the senses. Withdraw from the noise of the day. Do not carry the burden of facts into your sacred moment. Your bank account may say one thing. Your body may feel another. But what matters is the state you choose to occupy as you descend into sleep. Lie there and imagine, not from the outside looking in, but from within. Imagine as though you are already the man, the woman, who has what you desire. If it is wealth you seek, then feel wealthy. If it is love, then feel loved. Do not merely visualize a scene. Enter it. Touch the walls of your new home. Smell the flowers gifted to you by your beloved. Hear the congratulations from friends. Make it real, not with effort, but with quiet conviction. This technique is not of the outer world. It is not taught in universities or found in books of logic. It is divine. It is ancient. And it is yours. There is a silence more powerful than 1,000 affirmations. It is the silence of assumption, the silence of one who knows that what he has imagined is already a fact. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now, right now. And when you enter this state, truly enter it, you will find that the world bends to your assumption. You will rise in the morning different. Something will feel shifted. And then perhaps in hours, perhaps in days, you will see that the outer world has rearranged itself to match your inner conviction. I have seen it too many times to doubt it. I have seen men walk out of poverty, not by labor, but by this silent technique. I have seen barren relationships blossom, illnesses vanish, opportunities emerge where none were before, and all because someone dared to assume in silence that their wish was already fulfilled. Let me remind you again, feeling is the secret. You must feel it real. Not think about it, not wish for it, not hope, but feel it as if it is now. Therein lies the power. When you go to bed tonight, do not take with you the worries of the day. Do not replay conversations. Do not rehearse failure. Instead, gently, lovingly assume the state you desire. Make your bed your temple, and fall asleep, not as who you were, but as who you wish to be. You need not speak a word, for God hears not your words but your feeling. And your feeling, when deeply accepted, becomes the law of your life. There are those who will tell you this is too simple, that you must do more. But I am telling you, if you would only dare to believe, if you would only dare to persist in this silent assumption night after night, your world would be unrecognizable in a matter of days. It matters not what your present circumstances are. They are only the residue of past assumptions. They have no power unless you give them power. What matters is where you dwell in imagination, what you dare to feel to be true. Perhaps you are wondering, what if doubts arise? What if the mind resists? That is natural. But let the doubts come and go. Do not fight them. Simply return, gently, silently, to your state of the wish fulfilled. Rest in it. Let it cradle you into sleep. Remember this: sleep is the doorway. It is the sacred passage into the subconscious, which is the womb of creation. What you impress upon the subconscious in that drowsy, receptive state, just before sleep, will be born into your world. Do not underestimate the power of this moment, for in it, you are speaking to God, and God is your own wonderful human imagination. What you believe in that moment, what you truly accept as real, becomes law. You do not need to convince anyone. You do not need to explain. This is your private ceremony with the divine. No one need know what you are doing. And yet in time, all will witness the fruits of your inner silence. You see, life is not happening to you. It is responding to you. And the silent technique is the most potent way to instruct life how to respond. Let me tell you a story. A woman once came to me, burdened with lack, loneliness and despair. She had tried everything. But I told her, just as I'm telling you now, tonight go to bed and assume that all is well, that the money has come, that love surrounds you, that you are joyful. She resisted. It seemed too easy, too quiet. But finally she obeyed. Night after night, she practiced the silent technique. She said nothing to anyone, but inwardly she lived in the state of her fulfilled desire. Within a week, things began to change. Unexpected income. An old friend reappeared with affection. Her world began to blossom, not because she struggled, but because she assumed. And so I say to you, do not take this lightly. What you feel in the silence of your mind is more powerful than any outward effort. This is the divine language. This is the sacred science. To assume in silence the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and to persist in that assumption until it becomes your waking reality. You will know you've succeeded, not when the thing shows up, but when your inner world feels natural in that state. When you begin to identify with the man or woman who already has what they once longed for. You may say, but Neville, I don't see any evidence. I say to you, forget evidence. The evidence will come after the assumption, not before. Do not seek proof. Be the proof. And the world will conform. Remember, all that you behold, though it appears without, is within. It is within your imagination. And your imagination, when rightly disciplined, is God in action. So tonight, let your mind be still. Let the outside world dissolve. Enter the scene of your fulfilled desire. Live in it. Breathe in it. Fall asleep in it. And you will rise reborn. This technique is your inheritance. It costs nothing. It requires no ritual. Only the courage to assume, silently and consistently, that which you desire is already yours. Do not wait for permission. Do not seek validation. Your assumption is your permission. Your feeling is your key. Close your eyes, and see not with your eyes, but with your soul. Touch, taste, hear and move within the dimension where your wish is already real. That is the secret. That is the way. You may be surrounded by contradiction. Let it be. Pay it no mind. Withdraw inward. For what you are inwardly conscious of, you will one day see outwardly reflected. If you persist, you cannot fail. For assumption, when held in the silence of belief, becomes fact. You do not need to shout it to the heavens. God is not deaf. God is the still small voice, and that voice whispers through feeling. As you fall asleep tonight, remember that your future is being written not in the world of men, but in your imagination. What you accept in silence, with conviction, shall be yours. This is not fantasy. This is creation, and you are the creator. Silence is your brush, imagination your canvas, feeling your color, and the world your masterpiece. So I leave you with this. Dare to be still. Dare to assume. Dare to sleep as though your dream is already a fact. And when you wake, carry the fragrance of that inner world with you, knowing that it must come to pass. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the operant power. Use this silent technique, and you will discover the truth. You can manifest anything, overnight. You may find, at first, that your mind resists this new habit. It will want to return to familiar anxieties, familiar patterns. It will whisper doubts, tempt you with logic, and beg you to worry. But I ask you, what has worry ever brought you but more to worry about? What has fear ever created but more fear? There is a higher law at play here, one that says, as within so without. Your task is not to fix the outer world. That is a fool's errand. Your task is to revise the inner world, silently and faithfully, until it matches the vision of the life you desire. The outer will follow. It must. Every great change begins in silence. Seeds do not shout when they burst open in the soil. Stars do not scream when they are born. And your dream, if nourished properly in the silent soil of your imagination, will emerge just as silently, but with power that no force can deny. Do not underestimate what is happening beneath the surface. Though nothing may appear to be changing, in the depths of your subconscious, your new life is taking form. The people, the opportunities, the circumstances, these are all aligning themselves according to your inner assumption. It may come through a phone call, a chance meeting, a sudden inspiration, but it will come. And when it does, it will feel so natural, so inevitable, that you may even forget you once desired it. That is the hallmark of true manifestation. It feels as though it always was. My friend, tonight, you have a choice. You can carry your current reality into your sleep like a heavy cloak, or you can shed it and put on the garment of your desired state. No one can do this for you. It is an inward act, a silent transaction between you and your imagination. Feel your wish as fulfilled, not tomorrow, not later, but now. Let the scene play gently behind your closed eyes. Let it feel real. Do not try to make it happen. Do not force. Let go. Surrender to the feeling, and let the tide of sleep carry it deep into your subconscious. For in that sacred moment, when the body sleeps and the soul remains alert, you are speaking directly to the infinite. And the infinite does not reason. It accepts what you give it, good or bad, wanted or unwanted. So be intentional. Be wise. Give it only that which you desire to live. There is no need to ask the how. The how is not your concern. The bridge of incidents will appear. Life will find a way. Just as a river finds its path through stone, so too will your assumption carve its way into physical reality. You may think, but I've done this before, and nothing happened. Then I say to you, do it again, and again, and again. Not with effort, but with certainty. For persistence in the assumption of the wish fulfilled, even in silence, is the key that unlocks all doors. If you knock long enough, the door opens. If you dwell long enough in the state, it becomes your home. What you persist in being inwardly conscious of, you become. And oh, what joy awaits the man who realizes he needs nothing from the world to change before he does. That he can sit quietly, in the privacy of his own mind, and shift the entire trajectory of his life. This silent technique, though it requires no words, is not passive. It is a bold, deliberate act of faith. It is you saying, this is who I am. This is what I have. This is my reality. And when that feeling becomes natural to you, it will become natural to the world. All transformation is inner. All movement begins in the mind. And the silent assumption is the lever that moves the universe. You are not small. You are not separate from God. You are God imagining. You are the creative power in human form. And this world, this vast stage, responds to your beliefs, not to your wishes, not to your cries, but to your beliefs. So believe quietly, believe fiercely, believe in silence. Assume it is done, and it is. When you lie down tonight, close your eyes with gratitude, and smile, not because of what the world has given you, but because of what you have given yourself in imagination. For that gift, once given in silence, will echo into reality, reshaping everything in its path. And so I say to you, again and again, enter the silence, feel it real, sleep in the assumption, wake up in faith, and watch in wonder as your world transforms overnight. As you walk through your days, let the silence go with you. You need not speak of what you are doing. You need not announce your assumptions to the world. Keep them sacred. Let them grow in secret. The seed sown in the dark grows strongest in the quiet earth. So too does your desire blossom in the stillness of your being. Carry yourself not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. Let your thoughts, your words, your movements, reflect the unseen reality you have accepted in the quiet of your imagination. The world may not yet recognize who you have become, but it will. It has no choice. The law is infallible. What you assume to be true in feeling will become your experience in form. This technique does not ask for noise. It does not ask for spectacle. It asks only that you feel the truth of your desire without effort, and surrender it to sleep. That is all. That is everything. When doubt returns, and it will, do not fight it, smile at it, and return to your inner sanctuary. The sanctuary of knowing, of peace, of assumption. The silence within you is stronger than the storms without. You need no permission. You need no confirmation. The only proof you require is the feeling in your heart that says, it is done. When you reach that state, when your desire feels so real that you forget it ever wasn't, then manifestation is not far. In fact, it is already here, waiting to be seen. You must remember, the world reflects the consciousness you dwell in most often. If you dwell in lack, lack is all you shall see. If you dwell in fulfillment, then fulfilled shall your world become. This is not magic, though it appears magical. It is the law of consciousness, and it never fails. Begin tonight. Before sleep overtakes you, gently place yourself into the mood of the wish fulfilled. Do not try to control the process. Allow the scene to unfold naturally. It may not be vivid. It may not be perfect. That does not matter. What matters is the feeling, the knowing that what you are imagining is real. Once you feel it, let go. Let sleep take you, for in sleep, the seed takes root. The subconscious never sleeps. It is always listening, always accepting what you impress upon it in the final moments of awareness. It does not question. It does not reason. It accepts. You are speaking to infinite intelligence with your silence. Do not underestimate its power. The quiet assumption of a fulfilled desire is heard more clearly than 1,000 cries of desperation. For it is born of faith, not fear. Faith does not scream. It whispers. Faith does not demand. It assumes. Faith does not wait. It lives in the now. And so, every night, you have a choice. You can surrender to the facts of the day, or you can surrender to the vision of the life you choose. One leads to repetition. The other leads to transformation. Do not look to the outer world to give you a sign. The sign comes from within. The moment you feel peace, the moment you feel natural in the new state, that is your sign. That is your confirmation. The outer world will follow. It must, because this is not hope. This is law, and law does not fail. So enter the silence, beloved. Speak your wish through feeling. Let it be heard in the stillness, and then sleep as if it were done. And in time, and perhaps sooner than you dare believe, you shall wake to find your desire clothed in form. Because the truth is, it was never waiting for you. You were waiting to feel it real. When you begin to see life this way, when you truly realize that imagination creates reality, you will no longer react to appearances. You will no longer chase after the world, begging for signs or outcomes. Instead, you will turn inward with confidence and know that everything you desire must respond to the state you occupy in consciousness. This silent technique, then, is not merely a nightly ritual. It is a way of living, a way of being. You begin by applying it before sleep, yes, but soon you carry it into every moment. You begin to live as the person you once only imagined. And as you live in that inner world, faithfully and quietly, the outer world reorders itself accordingly. Do not worry if others do not understand. They may laugh, they may question. Let them. This power is not for show. It is not a tool for impressing others. It is the key to your freedom. Use it wisely. Use it quietly. Use it boldly. And when manifestations begin to appear, and they will, do not be surprised. Do not say it was luck. Acknowledge what you did in the silence. You planted the seed. You felt the wish as fulfilled. You surrendered it to the fertile soil of the subconscious, and life, as it always does, brought forth the harvest. There is nothing too big, too grand, too impossible. These are only labels the rational mind gives to that which it cannot yet see. But the imagination sees differently. The imagination knows, and the silence of assumption is the language of that knowing. Each night, before you drift into sleep, revisit your inner scene. Live there. Breathe there. Move from I want to I am. Do not plead, assume. And then release. Let sleep carry your wish into the infinite. The world outside may remain unchanged for a time. Let it. Your work is not to fix the outer. Your work is to remain loyal to the inner. What you are conscious of, you become. And what you are not conscious of, you cannot hold. No matter how much you chase it. You will know you are mastering this technique when you begin to feel a calm confidence, even when circumstances appear the same. That calm is the echo of your inner change. And soon, the world will echo back with the form of your assumption. But remember, the change must first be felt as real. The outer is always the shadow, never the source. All source is within. So live tonight in your desired state, not in the future, not in fantasy, but in feeling. Let the silence be your workshop. Let the night be your womb. You are not waiting for the world to give you permission. You are giving yourself permission. Now in this sacred quiet act, feel it, know it, trust it, and then let go. As you let go, do so with the same ease that one releases a breath. No grasping, no tension, just a serene detachment, knowing that what you have sown in imagination will ripen in its own time, in its own perfect way. That is the beauty of the silent technique. It does not strain. It does not chase. It allows. This allowing is not passive. It is powerful. It is the stance of one who understands divine law. You are not hoping for a miracle. You are expecting it, not through arrogance, but through alignment. And when expectation becomes natural, creation becomes inevitable. Soon you will find yourself acting differently, speaking differently, walking with a new energy. This is not performance. This is the natural consequence of inner conviction. Your silence has spoken and the world must now obey. That which once seemed out of reach begins to find you. That which felt distant suddenly feels familiar. When it comes, when the thing you imagined shows up in your reality, take a moment, reflect, realize that you did not make it happen through force, but rather you allowed it through stillness, through trust, through the silent, sacred work of assuming it real. There is a gentle majesty in this way of living, a quiet power that does not need to prove itself. You are no longer moved by the noise of the world. You are moved only by the truth within. You know the law and you walk in it, not as a student, but as a master. You will also notice that the more you use this silent technique, the less you need to speak about your desires. You begin to feel them as facts long before they appear. And so there is no urgency, no impatience. You are at peace because you know. This is how we are meant to live, not as beggars of circumstance, but as creators through consciousness. The silent assumption is your access to divine creative power. You do not need a title, a ritual, or a teacher. All you need is your own awareness, rightly directed. What you feel in the stillness becomes your experience in the light of day. There is no outer force that can deny the conviction of a mind aligned with its wish. The world rearranges, effortlessly, to reflect the inner blueprint you hold. So as you prepare to sleep tonight, remember you are not just ending your day. You are beginning a new reality. You are stepping into the world you have chosen, quietly, faithfully, powerfully. And from that silence will rise the life you desire, as if by magic, but truly by law. You'll begin to notice something else, something subtle yet profound, the peace. A peace that doesn't come from seeing the physical manifestation, but from knowing it is already yours. This peace is the clearest signal that you are aligned with your desire. You are no longer seeking, you are possessing internally. And that inner possession must become outer reality. That is the law. You may walk through the same streets, speak with the same people, go through the same routines, but inwardly everything is different. Why? Because you are carrying your fulfilled desire with you everywhere you go. You are no longer reacting to life, you are commanding it from within, silently. No one needs to hear you affirm it aloud. No one needs to know what scenes you imagine at night. You need not prove your power to anyone. The world will see in time what you have already accepted in the silence. And it will seem sudden. It will seem like it came out of nowhere. But you will know it came from within. This is the hidden art of creation, my friend. This is the secret the world overlooks. It is not noise, it is not hustle, it is not action alone, it is assumption. It is the still conviction that what you imagine is already fact. And once that feeling becomes natural, your outer world will mirror it with mathematical precision. Keep practicing. Keep going to sleep each night with the end already felt. Not half-heartedly, not with desperation, but with quiet faith. Smile as you close your eyes, knowing the seed has been planted. Feel the gratitude of already having it. And let that gratitude carry you into sleep. The next morning, carry yourself in that same energy. Do not contradict your assumption by checking the outer world with doubt. Do not ask where or how, or when. Walk in the knowing. The harvest never questions the seed. It emerges, quietly, perfectly in season. Your season, dear one, is determined by your conviction, not the calendar. This is why I urge you, do not seek signs. Be the sign. Be the evidence of your own assumption. Let others wonder how things changed so quickly. Let them ask, what happened? And let your smile be your answer. For you will know that everything they see began in a silent, unseen moment, when you dared to feel it real. And soon you'll notice how natural it becomes to assume silently. It becomes your way of living, not just a technique before bed, but a continual conscious selection of the state you wish to dwell in. You become someone who no longer reacts to appearances, but someone who acts from inner truth. You are no longer governed by conditions, you govern conditions. This, truly, is the essence of creation. You are not here to chase life, but to design it, quietly, inwardly, faithfully. The outer world is but clay, and your imagination is the sculptor. Through your silent assumptions, you mold and shape the world as easily as a potter shapes his vessel. There is no force needed, only direction. You will find that fewer things disturb you. You begin to lose interest in worry. You become uninterested in doubt. Why? Because you have trained yourself to return again and again to the state of your fulfilled desire. It becomes your home. And when it is your home within, it must become your home without. The power of this practice lies not in its loudness, but in its invisibility. No one can see you doing it. No one can interrupt it, because the real theater is within you. And as you persist, night after night, the inner world becomes more real than the outer. And that is when the miracle occurs. You no longer wonder if it will happen. You begin to wonder how you ever lived without it. That is the shift. That is the fulfillment. That is the reward of those who dare to dwell in the unseen, unshaken by fact, loyal only to their inner knowing. I tell you again, all this power, this majestic divine ability, is already within you. You do not need to earn it. You need only to use it. Use it in silence. Use it with intention. Use it with love. There will come a moment, perhaps quietly, when you will look around and realize everything has changed. And yet nothing seems forced. No struggle, no striving, just the silent unfolding of what you had already claimed long ago in the secret of your soul. When that moment comes, and you will understand the sacred rhythm of creation, that it was never about speed or urgency. It was about alignment. The moment you aligned with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the process had already begun. Everything that followed, every coincidence, every shift, every revelation, was simply the echo of that silent alignment. You will begin to see life differently. You'll realize that all along, everything was responding to your assumptions, not to your hard work, not to your outer effort, but to the quiet conclusions you held to be true. What you accepted in imagination, whether wanted or unwanted, became your world. This is the divine principle, and it applies without exception. In this realization, you will feel liberated. You will stop fighting circumstances. You will stop wrestling with problems, because now you know all that is required is to enter the state, silently, lovingly, persistently, to fall asleep in it, to rise in it, to walk in it, and the world must shape itself accordingly. That is why this silent technique is not only powerful, it is sacred. It is the very technique used by all masters, by all saints, by all who have dared to believe in the unseen and live from it. It is not new, it is eternal. It is the method of the mystic and the tool of the Creator, and you, dear one, are both. So let others speak, let others strive, let others seek outside. You have found the pearl of great price. You have discovered the divine silence. Now use it, honor it, practice it every night, as faithfully as you would breathe. For in that silence lies the blueprint of your future. When the morning comes, carry yourself with certainty, not arrogance, but quiet power. The kind of power that comes not from words, but from knowing. The kind that transforms a man not by effort, but by presence. You will not need to convince the world. The world will adjust itself to your conviction. This is how you manifest anything overnight, not through noise, not through desperation, but through sacred silence, through the still, unshakable assumption that what you have imagined is already yours. So tonight I leave you with this undeniable truth. Your silence is not empty. It is full of creation. The moment you dare to assume, in stillness, that your desire is already fulfilled, you unlock the greatest secret known to man. You become the master of your reality, not through force, not through words, but through divine knowing. The world responds not to what you want, but to what you are willing to feel as real in the silence of your soul. So sleep tonight not as the seeker, but as the one who has already received. Walk tomorrow not as the one who hopes, but as the one who knows. For when you assume quietly, you manifest powerfully. And in that sacred silence, you become unstoppable.